Time to go to war, boys. You ready? Alright, so recently, pretty recently, there's been this new thing on Google where they've been censoring or shadow banning stuff that relegates to the Chinese Communist Party. Now, okay, you see, it's worth pointing out that the hypocrisy of that. Now, okay, here's a couple reasons why I think that's a little bit dumb, I guess. Allow me to go over that. Yeah, here we go. A little bit of a note here when I say this, okay? The internet is a platform where anyone could speak their voice, okay? That's kind of the best and worst quality of YouTube, obviously. Whether it be podcasts, forums, and online discussions. Even like the comments below said videos, okay? The funny thing is that the problem is when situations like this brew up, okay? That censors freedom of speech. That's where I come in, because my channel is called the United States of America, so of course it is. Here's a little bit of background for those of you who don't know, okay? There's a reason why a large amount of companies are targeting the Chinese market. Obviously, China is the most populous country in the world, keep in mind. That's one note. China is the most populous country in the world. And number two, untapped oil wells. Markets in China are huge, okay? The problem is that China has been authoritarian since the idea of China has existed. So you can kind of see where troubles of that will come along, right? You see, if you need an example of obviously in 2007, Google approached China and said, "Hey, do you want to get a deal and stuff like that?" And China responded by saying, "Sure, just censor all this information that could be against our government and the party." Google wasn't fine with this and left China in 2010, I think. Well, eventually in 2017, I guess those end markets weren't enough to shy away from, I guess. Google decided to go back into China with Operation Dragonfly. Now, I'm taking this off of Alternate History Hub's video on this because he does a lot better detail in this than I ever could. So yeah. The problem is that with obviously China being a thing, with China being authoritarian, you can imagine that a lot of free speech is censored, which is eventually why Congress told Google, "Hey, we're gonna check you on this," and stuff like that, and interview the CEO and stuff. The CEO of Google actually said, "We have no plans of going into China, at least right now." Trying to escape perjury and obstruction of justice, I see. Classic. My point is that they tried to push back the project until the heat died down. Well, it's 3 years on, and the heat has certainly died down. Now obviously, the problem is that the internet is going to become a lot like communist China unless you go to Pornhub or something. Anyways, my point is that communist China, there's a couple. I'm sure you're going to see terms like Tiananmen Square, for example, censored, which is something that would probably never be allowed inside Chinese borders, for example. However, it's not stuff like Tiananmen Square, which is stuff they have done. China doesn't want the stuff they're doing now to be recognized, okay? Now, I know this is an old story for as far as I know, but I do know for a fact that this is still going on. In 2018, there were reports of the Chinese government putting citizens in mass detention camps or re-education camps. Yes, you heard me right. To make them more modeled Chinese citizens. Like Hitler did in the 1940s. I mean, just saying. To be honest, I wouldn't give a crap if I get a strike for this because it's just proving my point. Anyways, see ya.